in the theme of building things, I thought, why not do a segment? We're not going to really do a recipe per se, but we're going to sort of talk about like what makes a healthy bowl or a protein bowl. I mean, we see a lot of these bowls now, and I just want to sort of talk through, like, from my perspective, in my experience, like, what is it like to put together a bowl? When I think about putting a bowl together, so we want to think about the base. So that base can be dark leafy greens. It could be a mixture of whatever it is, like that might even be seasoned in the summer. And like in the wintertime, like I said, it's sweet potatoes, parsnips, carrots, whatever it is that's maybe a bit more in season. For this, we're going to do a combination of, for this, I'm going to do a combination of yellow rice and then some sweet potatoes. Now, this could be, we're also going to add some cream spinach, but that cream spinach could also be the base as well, right? So there's again, 100 different variations of the same thing. So the first thing I want to do to get this thing going is I'm going to heat up my pan. And I'm going to lay down my base layer first. So I'm going to lay down my rice and my sweet potatoes. And then from there, we're going to add some pulled pork. So I did this in a smoker for about 14 hours that I froze, I think I did some over the winter. So that's what this is from. I can't just go make pulled pork in 20 minutes. It takes a long time. So that's going to be my protein. So we start with the base layer of either some kind of dark leafy greens or some kind of carbohydrate. So either rice, sweet potatoes, or cream spinach, or whatever we're looking at. So first thing I'm going to do, add that rice in the sweet potatoes. And I'm just going to give it a good mix here. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the pork too, because this is all going to come flying out right about the same time. So with this idea here of building a bowl, so there's so I'll go through sort of the 5 basics. I should have started here. So we have our base, our protein, our kind of maybe some kind of accessories, which I would call them. So this could be, for this recipe, an accessory is going to be caramelized onions, some cream spinach, and some pickled cucumbers. And then we're going to sauce it up, which is our 4th component. We need some kind of sauce. And then I like to add something in there with texture. So for this, I'm going to add some roasted cashews, and then Troy's favorite piece, which is to top it all off. I call it with the cherry on top. I always like to add a fried egg myself.
Yes, always.
That usually sits on salads, on bowls. I just love fried eggs. I'm obsessed with them. So those 5 things. So the base layer, which can be veggies or mixed carbohydrates, the proteins, your accessories, your sauce, and then the cherry on top, which is really just the egg on top.
Maybe a little hot sauce.
Oh yes, Troy, 100%. So
I'll have my egg over easy, please.
Yours is over easy, yes. So again, I'm just reheating everything up in a skillet here, a non-stick skillet. So I'm just going to let things kind of continue to come to temp. And And so the other thing I want to talk just real quickly about is as I get the onions going here, and then the spinach. Give me 1 second here. So one of the things that I like to talk about is that, like, you see these like cool storage containers that I have, and like I said, I smoked a bunch of pork. So like when I come home, or like when I put together a meal every night, like I can have 3 or 4 different things to choose from, and I can build a different bowl every single night of the week, depending on what ingredients, different proteins, different beans, maybe flexitarian it a little bit. But the idea is that like I can just go to my fridge, take out a bunch of stuff, and then just throw that into a frying pan, heat it all up, and then throw it into a bowl, and I got myself my meal for that night. And it, like, I do all of that work on like a Saturday or Sunday over the weekend. And so then I'm like prepared for the week. So I'm not really cooking much necessarily during my week. I'm just bringing things all back up to temp. So I actually treat my kitchen very much like a restaurant, right? So where they're just, a lot of their stuff is already cooked. They're just bringing things back up to temp, or they hold things at temp, but that's just not possible. So you can kind of see things are starting to heat up here, which is great. I've got my cream spinach, my rice, my sweet potatoes, my pork, and my caramelized onions just nice and warming up in here. Always add a little salt while I'm at it. And then I'm going to start my egg. Troy, what's the secret about the egg? Do you remember?
As far as cracking it?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Let me think for a sec. I usually just blast it on the side of the pan, and it creates a huge mess every time.
Yeah.
I bet that makes Tiff really happy.
Well, at least I pick up after myself. You know. He loves that at least.
So there's not a big trick, but essentially I crack it and I get it nice and really close to try to keep the integrity of the egg intact. And then be careful putting it back.
You know, it's funny. Go ahead, Derek.
I said I forgot to mention we do have 6 chickens here, so we have fresh eggs daily.
Oh,
there you go.
So that's nice. The nice part about our land too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So while like my egg is cooking, my food's almost back up to temp. Now would be the time that I would, get my eating ware up. I'm gonna use the Plol tonight. So what I'm gonna do is kind of just transfer everything onto the Plol here. Wow, I got a big meal ahead of me. This is great. Salty egg. I'll flip it. So the nice thing about these non-sticks here is that the egg is going to just sort of slip, and then just a good little flip, just as such. Turn off your burners. So here's where I would, now I'm going to take my pickles, which making pickles is really easy. This is a combination of vinegar or white wine vinegar, some honey, and water. And then I just slice up my cucumbers, salt them up, and then I will rinse them off, and then just combine the vinegar, sweet water with the rinsed pickles. So
Nice.
it's a nice way to, like, if you get a CSA and you're like, oh, what am I going to do with all these cucumbers? It's a great way just to
Yes.
free yourself up from having that stress of those going bad.
Yeah, I believe. Chip's gonna correct me if I'm wrong on this, but we've spiralized cucumber before and made it look like pasta.
Yes, you can do that.
Yeah, you can kind of do that.
I think
Maybe a little trick for the kids. Trick the kids a little bit.
Yes, zucchini is awesome for that. I don't know how. I've never done it with cucumber.
Yeah, maybe it's zucchini, but yeah.
But you might be able to even pickle the zucchini. Why not? So as you can tell, I've got my base here of the sweet potatoes, the rice. You can kind of maybe glance at the pork there. The cream spinach is also mixed in. I've got my my bed of pickles, and then the egg on top. And then again, like I said, I like to have a little texture. So the nuts on top. I don't know. There's just something about having some crunch, and that crunch can come in different ways. It doesn't have to be nuts. You could air fry those onions or something like that too. Like that could be a really nice way to go about it. And then we get to do the fun part. We get to sauce it up. So all I'm going to do is just kind of sauce it up. And I have myself a beautiful buildable Pops Block and Rock